Pardon me while I sneeze. And the sneeze escaped me. Welcome back to Abandon Hope, session 16, I believe. We are, as often, joined by George, Jordan, Stephanie, and Chris, but not Aiden, which means Slash will probably be sacrificed tonight, and it will probably be glorious. Now, can anyone tell me where we were the last time we met?
Jordan can.
We killed a big evil deer thing that had a soul in its chest. So the of us saw a rather large spectral deity behind this creature. I think it was everyone with either magic vision and Slash. We killed the deer thing, and it spawned a bunch of mini-me's, and we killed all the mini-me's. And then Ivor tried to eat the soul. He unzipped to do so, and everyone tried to stop him because he was eating the soul. Slash possessed him and got wrecked by something inside Ivor, some sort of very large god. And then Ivor was held down on the roof by Worm for 8 hours, in which he completed a rest, and then attempted to steal everything again, and so there we are. He was caught trying to steal the soul again. Steal in quotes, because it was more like a flying tackle with a grab.
Yes. And I'd like to add that I think there are few things more D&D than a grapple going on so long a rest was able to be completed during it.
So we're not still trying to kill him, / he's trying to kill us? I don't remember where that left off.
Yeah, we kind of just froze.
Yeah, Taylor basically said, like, we're going to start initiative, but, like, session's over. So
Yes.
But we were starting initiative against him.
essentially,
Wonderful.
if needed, because we were kind of doing a bunch of random actions in different turn orders
Right.
and things, and it was getting kind of weird.
Let's take this bastard down.
So, as this is all going on, something comes out of Wendellorn's eye. It
That
is
sounds
Okay.
gruesome.
it's
Wait,
not
out of his real eye or his magic eye?
his magic eye. It's not painful, Wendellorn. And it doesn't even occlude your vision because, you know, magic is strange like that. A little bony snake comes out of your eye. And it just kind of rears up. I mean, it is a miniature of the gigantic bony snake who sent you people to this place.
Oh, he sent a baby messenger.
And because I have none of the audio from the session where the bony snake man appeared, it's not a man, he's just a bony snake. Because I have none of the audio from the session where the bony snake appeared, I don't remember his voice, so we're just going with this. Oh, what a pickle you've gotten yourself into.
Wait, he's a tiny version. It needs to be like a high-pitched version of his voice.
This is magic, but, you know, that does make
I want
sense.
realism, man.
Does he appear to be speaking to someone in particular, or just to the group in general?
He is looking around at you all. Sort of just... He's talking almost to himself. It's certainly not directed toward an individual. He says... As I hadn't expected you to come into it so quickly. I thought you had more sense than that from all of the reassurances that you gave me. Well, what do you have to say for yourself?
What
Is he
did
talking?
get into?
He's
now talking to.
well, he's talking
Someone
to Ivor
picked-
now.
Okay.
Let's say.
Well, I did not think my companions here would believe me or even understand necessarily if I were to tell them, but you, on the other hand, I have a feeling you know exactly what I'm talking about.
I know
And
a great many things. This
I'll
may be
kind
one
of
of them.
look over. Sorry.
So I know a great many things. This may be one of them.
I'll kind of look over the room to the other members of the party and say, I have not been entirely honest with you. But I do not think we cannot work together on this. I do not need the soul forever, you see, but I do need it temporarily, and I'm not sure I can entirely trust you with why.
Is he speaking to the snake or to us?
I was kind of looking around the room, yeah.
Why?
The snake looks intently at Ivor. It offers no immediate information.
I am in service of a great deity. The greatest, in my opinion, but as you imagine, I'm a bit biased. But still, the greatest deity. This deity needs this soul. Not forever, but just for a simple task, really. And I am simply his avatar in this situation in order to carry out this task.
As are, says the snake, the ones who you came here pursuing. Though I assume, Avatar, that you are not their ally.
You're following the same deity that they are?
No. And this is why I took the soul from them. You see, I believe that inside this soul rests another such deity of similar stature, but lesser than my own deity. My own deity seeks to expunge this deity from the soul to, well, it's a show of force, really, I suppose you could say.
And as it happens, you're not going to be able to take that thing back to where you came from until its resident has been expunged, did you say? Unless you want to make all of your friends in Fool's Paradise into little minions, or maybe little snacks. But I can confirm what your companion tells you. I cannot confirm his motives, but there is certainly a deity within that thing. It is not the deity which your companion serves. That's about as much as I can tell you.
So if these deities are supposed to be so powerful, why are they sending peons to go do their work instead of just taking it themselves?
They were supposed to be so powerful quite a long time ago. The world has been remade a few times since then. I don't know that it's really fair to call them deities now. Or if you do, the word deity has lost whatever meaning it might have had.
I would be careful with such speech.
So he's not really the greatest anything, is he?
Yes, he is.
The greatest rat is still a rat.
I have worked tirelessly. I would say for a lifetime, but I think it may be many more times than that. To restore the greatness of my deity, restore his name, his power.
If a deity needs a mortal to restore his power, he's not much of a deity, is he?
Slash gets a little bit of PTSD. You can tell by the way he just kind of turns and sits in the corner.
I have no idea which deity I served in the past, but he must be better than yours.
Well, all I can do is really just channel my own deity's power. It's all through their strength that I can do anything at all. And through their guidance that I have lasted this long.
Well, his strength can't be very great if I held you in a hug all night.
Well, it's magical strength, not physical strength. I am very weak. But you saw my spectral wings and my... I'll just kind of shoot one of my finger guns at the wall. All that.
So your deity can put on a pretty light show.
It tends to kill the things I aim at it, yes, but you could call it a pretty light show. Sure. But much like all of us are not, well, necessarily alive, and we have certain issues because of that, I don't believe my deity to be entirely alive either, which is why I have been working.
Does this have anything to do with why the entire town melted? And or turned into deer?
I have no idea what did any of that. I would assume it was the other deity.
Oh, it does. And it does.
What?
Yes.
Okay.
Indeed.
So this thing I have stuffed in a pouch has got another deity inside of it.
Yes, indeed. He is sitting right in there. Won't come out unless you call him.
And that's the bad one?
Bad one, you say. It's a different one.
So we could strike a deal with that one.
Mm-hmm.
I suppose. Yes, I
would
suppose you
not
could.
I would not advise as such, no.
Why not?
Well, because I would not advise as such.
Maybe this one's better than yours.
I highly doubt that. Did you see how close I was to consuming it already if you had not interfered?
And how easily we prevented you from consuming it?
Yes, but that was not the other gods, the other deity's power, that was your own. If I was so close just from my deity's power overpowering that deity, and it was your interference, then why do you think that the deity that my deity almost overpowered is somehow stronger?
Neither of these deities seem particularly strong. Why don't we trap them both in the soul?
Because you need them out of the soul to use the soul. Is that not what our lizard friend said?
So
That
for
is
us to
correct.
use this thing, we need to get the other one out of there.
That seems to be the idea, yes. I have sort of lost interest in actually returning the soul, but I will not stop you from doing whatever you wish with the soul after I am done with it.
So what do we get out of this if we free this thing?
I suppose that's between you and it. I'm certainly not its messenger. I do know of a place you could draw it out, if you so chose, without needing to ask its favor.
Do you serve the same deity that Ivor does?
No. I serve
Then-
no one but myself. My masters
Then-
are long dead, because I
Then
ate
why are
them.
you here?
I'm holding the door open for you, after a fashion. I could slam it shut, but you wouldn't care for that very much. As for the why, I agreed to help you. You sealed up the way so that no more of you pesky rodents can get to me in the near future, hopefully. And, well, this is the most diverting thing I have done in quite a long time. I am more than happy to, if not assist you, give my input when possible.
You're not especially good at being an isolated hermit, are you?
Well, you're the one who broke down my door, so I don't think you have any room to talk.
So, how does Ivor swallowing this thing free this other thing?
I don't know that him swallowing it would free it. It would probably be...
I don't think he's trying to free it, he's trying to expel it.
Well, I'm not certain expel is the right word either. It's more like I think my god is trying to eat that one. And that would remove it from the soul. I think it's something like that. I mean, think of it. I'm trying to eat the soul. It's sort of a metaphor for my god eating that god. It's just, it makes sense, yes? But I
So
have
how does the
received
soul
not...
come back out of you?
Well, I have no use of it afterwards, so I imagine it would find its way out.
I must interject. If Ivor eats the soul, there will be some sort of metaphysical battle between his deity and the deity in the soul, and then whoever remains will possess his body, use it as the meat puppet it is, and take the soul for itself. You don't want that outcome. I'm not sure I want that outcome either. It will certainly be more trouble for me, as whoever remains will not be happy that I just stood here and jabbered instead of doing something that I probably should be doing, which I'm not telling you about. It's none of your business.
Okay, so Ivor wants to get this back so he can eat it. This other guy doesn't want us to give it to Ivor, but has suggested there's a place we can take it to free whatever's trapped inside of it. And none of this seems to benefit us as a whole in the slightest.
I may ask, oh great bone serpent.
You may continue.
Mayhaps you know some way that I could extract this deity dormant in the soul for my deity to overcome it without actually eating the soul, perhaps just siphon it out in some way or something similar. Does that sound more helpful, more possible to you, more beneficial for us all?
As I was beginning to say, you could take it to the sunken city, where the old body of the god lies, and you could return the soul to a body that is far too heavy for it to animate, we could say, but which fits like a hand in a much, much, much thicker glove than should be. Don't worry about the analogy. If you returned the soul to its body, you would have no soul within this... You would have no consciousness within the living soul. The living soul could be yours to do what you wished with. And I suppose you could do what you wished with the god within its old, useless body.
Where did the soul come from originally?
Well, I'm afraid I don't know.
Well, we know its recent history, at least. It was in Hope.
Is this a human soul, or was this originally a god soul?
I'm afraid
No.
I have no idea regarding that.
For what I understand, and forgive me, I only have brief glimpses and images to work with here. It's sort of mixtures of past memories I feel I should not have, and probably instructions and impulses from my own deity, but it seems to me that this is some sort of living soul, and that there is a god separate from the soul residing within it.
Do we know that, like, a battle between two deities inside of it isn't going to just destroy it?
It could
And
very
us.
well do that. That seems fairly likely. I couldn't tell you the exact odds. We could give it a shot, I suppose. Although I'd prefer not.
But you said the body of the other god in the sunken city. You
Yes,
said?
in the sunken city, where the
We
triune
could-
throne lies.
So we could potentially bring the souls there, have my god battle that god's body somehow, separately from the soul.
Yes. If you present the vessel of a consciousness to a vessel it once occupied, it will slurp up like a little carp down the throat of a heron.
Well, I think that sounds ideal for both parties then. My god gets to battle this god. You guys get the soul minus the godly consciousness within, and you get to do with it what you please.
After he battles the deity in its body, how do we extract the soul from the body?
The word soul is kind of confusing here. If you removed the consciousness of the god from the soul, you would have a soul free to do whatever you wished with. The consciousness of the god would remain in the body, unless it was then drawn out in some other fashion.
You guys could run away immediately and not care about the battle at all if you wish. I will
So-
stay with my god, of course, but
So the
I do not
plan
expect
is the plan is to bring the soul to the body, and the soul would be sucked out into the body, but the soul would remain in our hands.
Stop saying soul.
No.
But yes, I believe you are correct.
That is more or less the case. Unless my fundamental understanding of metaphysics is woefully inadequate, which it very well may be. Those things may have changed in the last 3,712 years.
Well, now that everything is out on the table, I would much rather work with you than against you. I realize you have very little reason to trust me at this point, but I ask it of you all the same.
How far is this? And are we likely to run into any more killer deer people? Or are they all gone?
Well, it is on the other side of the planet.
Oh, perfect. Is this... Can you open a magic door to it?
I can open a lot of magic doors in between. Probably. Unless they are stuck closed after being shut for so long. I may be able
So
to
we're just like Scooby-Doo from door to door?
I don't know what a Scooby-Doo is. But it
So
sounds
what happened
potent.
what happened to the people that we were chasing here?
Well, they are the servants of the god that is in that stone. I didn't know of their
But where are
identity
they?
back with. Oh, where are they? I have no idea. I'm not the one with the magic eye here.
You sent us here because they were here.
Yes. They are here, aren't they?
I don't know, are they?
I see no reason why they wouldn't be. Don't you have the thing they want?
Well, everybody in the town melted.
I promise you they did not melt.
I am unfamiliar with the place we now stand. Can we assume that beings from this area would return shortly after dying like we do, or is that more unique to our home area?
They should not return unless animated by an external force.
I see.
An oddly astute question for someone who has been in your condition as long as you have, Ivor. I'm beginning to wonder what you're hiding from me.
We
Well,
can reanimate them.
Did you ask if I could reanimate them?
Yes.
Yeah, I suppose I could. I don't want to, though. I'll tell you what. I'll reanimate as many of them as you wish, but you have to do me a favor. 2 favors, actually. You'll have to do me one in exchange for my taking you to the sunken city, and a second for me raising as many of these as you wish.
Being?
Well, you'll find them out when we reach the sunken city. I only wish you to rearrange the contents of a room, for one. And there's a person I wish you to murder, for the other. No more details until the time comes.
Whatever it takes.
Wendalorn is quite content as long as Ivor is not going to try and eat the stone again.
If it is agreeable to all of you, I could fashion a solution to prevent evil from eating it. Unless
We wire his jaw shut.
I could also do that, but I doubt he would consent to that. I can cover it with a solution that will make it difficult to eat. The solution can be removed with a certain amount of effort, but, well, having heard what came before, I imagine you could handle him pretty easily in that case.
Can we also wire his jaw shut?
I mean, I'm not going to stop you. I don't even have arms.
First of all, I have very fuzzy memory of that time as I was sort of in another state of consciousness, but I seem to recall that I unzipped or something. I'm not sure what wiring a jaw would really do.
That is also fair.
Oh god, that's right.
Joke's on you, I have mouths anywhere.
But I will say, it was a sudden impulse that came over me, I assume, directed from my god. I was not aware that I would do that until I did that. So I cannot promise that it won't happen again. But I can promise that Ivor, myself, will not willingly do that again. It's just maybe something to keep an eye out for in case my god attempts to do that again.
Well, tell your god not to do that again, or we won't help it.
I think it has been proven at this point that by my own strength, I am not I'm not able to overcome all of you, and so the wisest course of action here is to work with you.
Well, seeing how weak you prove to be, is your god likely to try to overtake one of us instead?
I do not recall it doing such in the past, but I do not have complete memory, only of this lifetime.
I'm going to be right back, guys.
Okay.
Well, since he can't get at it so long as I've got it, and he seems to not have a personal interest in gobbling it up again.
Well, interest, yes, but he has conceded it's not likely.
I don't have a particular problem with going and doing this thing. Any thoughts there, Vesper?
No, not particularly.
I was going to ask Vesper what she thought of it, but I couldn't remember her name.
Vesper's just here to
Wow.
light things on fire and eat brains.
Sounds like a t-shirt. I'm just here to light things on fire and eat brains.
Yeah. Maybe throw fire at 8 brains. That flows better.
What genocide of the lizards? I don't even remember that.
When Ivor finger gunned like a ton of stone lizards in the cathedral area of the I mean,
Well,
you guys killed a few too, but
while you
killed,
guys
like,
were downstairs
18.
and I was upstairs with Slash at the sacrificial table
Right.
there.
I'm back, and thank you, Stephanie, for proving that, yes, the genocide of the lizards was forgotten.
Wait, thoroughly forgotten. It'll come back to haunt us one day.
Ivor never forgets, except when he does.
So has the discussion as to whether Ivor may or may not try to eat things again concluded?
Well, I don't fully believe that he definitely won't.
But I'm of the opinion that we stopped him from doing it before. As long as we keep an eye on him, we should be able to keep him from doing that in the future.
Probably. Can we tie him to a tree at night?
You've proven that you can just sit on top of me, and it is pretty effective.
But we may need him, loose and able to do the things that he normally does for us. I don't know that tying him to the tree is a great idea.
Well, while we're asleep.
Does Worm actually think that Ivor can't get out of being tied to a tree?
Yes.
Understandable. Have a nice day. The bone snake is being very patient. It looks at Slash. Are you just going to sit there in the corner? Or are you going to say something meaningful? And Slash turns around.
We lost to Chris.
Oop. Yeah, Vesper has just kind of wandered out of the room.
Okay.
The snake does not comment on this. Why do I need a voice modulator?
To change your voice for different characters.
Understandable also. Have a
Then
continually
when it's
nice
like
day.
when it's a little tiny snake, bony snake, you can set it up really high pitched.
Slash says, regardless of what we do, can you at least make it so I can, hold an axe again? And the snake says, yes, I can make you a body. You could have said something before now. I would have been happy to help you. But you just kind of haunted people. You seem pretty happy with this life.
He took mine several times, and I think he was pretty disappointed with my physical strength.
The bone snake opens its mouth, and a little bone tongue comes out, and it goes into the ground, and it starts forming an outline of a person. When it has created the outline of a buff human form, it begins systematically, centimeter by centimeter, carving the details of a pretty Slash-like body on it. This is an incredibly fast process. And within just 10 minutes, it has created a veritable likeness of Slash.
Is it anatomically correct?
It is formed with all of Slash's physical clothes and equipment.
We'll never know.
At which point,
I hope.
At which point, little lasers come from the snake's eyes. They blast the eyes of the little earthen outline, and it rises from the ground and is a 3-dimensional Slash. The texture of the skin and its surfaces is very much earth-like, but the snake assures you that it will congeal into flesh and cloth and steel and teeth and organs fairly quickly. Slash seems fairly satisfied with this.
Does it have any life without Slash haunting it?
That's a good question, and you might have to ask Slash. Slash does not know, though.
Well, is it moving?
Yes, it is moving, but Slash is inside it now, so
But you didn't say he went inside it.
that is very true. He is nonetheless inside it.
Oh,
Chris, are you with us again? So I see you again in Discord, but I don't hear any sound, and I don't see your avatar lighting up. I am sorry for your continual technical problems, difficulties, something.
yeah, like I can hear you talking through the floor, but you're not coming over Discord.
While we are waiting for Chris to hopefully overcome these likely laptop-related issues, how are people feeling about that new Slash dirt body right there?
Well, I'm wondering if he can make a dirt army for us.
I could.
Well, that's why I was wondering if it, can move around on its own without Slash in it. We could have an army of mindless dirt people.
Well, they would be mindless and they wouldn't move. I suppose I could inhabit them, but I don't want to. That's a lot of work.
Sounds like a lot of work. Could Slash separate himself and inhabit all of them?
I don't know. I don't know that I've ever heard of a human doing that before.
Well, try making another one. We'll see if it works.
Right, he raises another one. It stands beside Slash. Slash tries to inhabit both of them. Let me pull up Slash's sheet here.
Does this happen to be accruing more favors?
Oh no, don't worry. I will tell you when a favor is required for things.
Well, thank you.
And Slash is unable to inhabit both bodies at once. He can jump between them,
Oh,
though.
man.
That
would have been really cool.
He's kind of like two weeping angels, because one of them freezes every time he jumps out of it, but he can jump between them. He can have them running at you from both sides, but only one of them's running at a time.
But that means we could have a backup body.
You could have a backup body, or rather, Slash could.
Can one Slash carry the other?
But there you go. He could carry his own backup.
It slashes all the way down.
If Slash holds an X and then other Slash holds Slash, and then he swings other Slash around and also swings the X. And
He's
just,
three slashes in a trench coat.
Unfortunately, I don't have Slash's proper character sheet. I only have the level 2 version of it on here.
Okay, well, just make him a smaller Slash he can carry around in a baby pack on his back, and then if the main Slash dies, he has a backup that can carry a little axe.
that should be Slash's main sheet.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
Slash Dankstone. Alright, he's got +5 strength. He's pretty strong. He could carry another. He could carry 4 miniature Slashes.
Perfect.
He could carry them in a bandolier across his chest.
Yes. Are they infant size?
Yes.
Okay, make this happen.
Can we call main slash Darkstone and secondary slash Dagstone?
What about tertiary slash?
Yeah, there's 3 more slashes you gotta come up with names for.
Mm-hmm. Good point. Hack slash stab.
I love how one of them is still called slash and the others aren't.
Yeah, I'm sure there's enough permutations of hack and stab with Darkstone and Dagstone that it would get the job done. The slash.
There you go. That's perfect.
just multiply the number of slashes in the name.
Yes. So it's 4 small ones, so it's slash at the end. That won't get hard to say at all.
Yeah.
Oh god. What was that?
Well, that's slash.
Okay. Now, I know we like these slash bandolier, but what if we had slash holding small slash in a little carrier, then that slash holding a smaller slash in a little carrier on down? Final slash is like mouse size.
Unfortunately, I cannot move these slashes after I place them.
Why not?
Because I simply can't move them. It just won't select them. Even if I select them, like, I can grab the handles, but I can't select the actual thing and move it. Anyway, there's
That's
slash asking you not to talk to him or his son or his other son or his other son or his other son again. Chris, have you once more rejoined us? Doesn't appear so. I'm sorry, Chris. We're going to have to continue without you. Or rather, you may be hearing us, but we may not be having your input. So the assorted slashes have been created. The slash has been created. Now what will you guys do?
Well, we have some favors to take care of, yes. Should we start with that?
Well, you're not going to be able to help me with those favors until you get to the sunken city. So by all means, set your sights on those. Let your favors to me be the things that drive you, but no, there will not be any fulfilling them in the very near future.
So are we just ignoring the fact that this whole town has died?
If it makes you feel better, most of them were dead a long time ago. But then so were you, so you know.
True. I mean, I kind of want to know why they all turned into deer, but...
It's a very long story. It's only long because there were a lot of human sacrifices involved. The explanation is quite simple.
What is the simple explanation?
That they were forcibly turned into creatures in thrall to a god who is very fond of deer.
But this has nothing to do with the 2 deities that we're dealing with.
What has everything to do with one of them? He is the one who is very fond of deer. This was...
As a note, it is not my god that is very fond of deer.
No, not at all. He doesn't even like eating deer, really. He will if he has to, but deer are abominable creatures.
Well, the ones here certainly were.
Yes, I hesitate to call this place a cult, because well, none of the ones in it joined so much as were inducted by the true servants. Occasionally they lured in a passerby to keep not so much the bloodline, so much as that wasn't. It wasn't as though they were producing children. They just needed to spread some new blood around, literally on the floor every once in a while.
Can you raise up my orphan?
Yes. I suppose I could. It's not going to be how you think it is, though.
In what way?
They're not going to have a personality. I can make them speak if you would truly desire it, but they won't be having original thoughts coming out of their mouth.
Well, I had just acquired it, and I had gotten attached.
All right. Can you find me some potato flowers? That will be required.
Okay.
The snake at this point plops out of Wendellorn's eye.
He was sticking out of his head this whole time?
Yes, this entire time.
Oh, I thought he had already plorped on the floor.
No.
Oh, God.
And Wendellorn was just dealing with it like a champ.
Go, Wendellorn.
Not okay.
Hello, Chris.
Hello.
It's finally working. Cool.
Welcome
Yay.
back.
I didn't do anything.
I believe you. Windows is a sorceress compound.
Yep.
It's still unhappy. I'm trying to run everything off of my phone.
Oh dear, that's impressive. To be fair, your phone probably has better specs than your laptop.
Probably.
Yeah, I think that's why it keeps disconnecting, because it won't connect to the Wi-Fi on its own.
Oh no.
Oof.
So I'm looking for a garden with potato flowers in it.
Alright.
Phone that seems to be working with that.
Can you give me a survival roll, please?
Yeah, I totally had my character sheet open already. It's just taking a long time for no reason.
To be fair, that does perfectly describe Roll20.
Okay, what am I rolling?
Survival,
Survival.
please. You find no potato flowers. You do, however, find potatoes that were left over by the old burned house.
Oh, well, these used to be potato flowers, so I'll bring those back.
Do you not know what flowers are?
No.
I can make it work. That's how good I am. I can make it work.
You can take a knife and, like, whittle one into the shape of a flower.
Where is your orphan?
Well, it's a puddle of goo outside.
Can you take me to the puddle of goo, please? I do not know which one is your puddle of goo. You go to the puddle. This one right here.
Puddle.
All right. The snake coils around the... Yes.
Question about the puddle of goo. It's been like almost a day. Has it changed at all?
It has formed a skin.
Oh, great.
Oh, God. Like a pudding skin?
Yes, exactly like a pudding
Wonderful.
Glad I asked.
skin. Thank you
I'm
for
sure this
asking.
smells amazing.
Your smell buds have been burned away by everything that has happened over the last night.
So we removed whatever, like, antler bits were in here.
Yes.
Okay. I didn't want it to come back as a deer abomination.
Well, you may have no choice in the matter. The snake devours the potato, and then it regurgitates mashed potato into the puddle. It's not exactly mashed, but it's potato byproduct. It regurgitates into the puddle. Strands begin forming in the mass of the congealed potato, and kind of sewing together parts of the goo. It's like watching cotton candy being made, but with potato and pudding. In a short period of time, a body has been formed that is roughly orphan-shaped. And then you see thicker cables of potato sprout out from the back of the orphan's neck and go into the various muscles of the arms and the legs and the head. And it's clearly, visibly being marionetted by these animated strands of potato. Strands go into the jaws and through the eyelids so that the face can be animated. And it turns to you. "Wait, is this what you wanted?" the orphan says.
It's in the centipede's voice?
Yes.
Or the snake's voice?
"Are you happy now?"
Yes, I have a potato orphan.
Good.
I couldn't be happier.
Slash seems relieved that he didn't have to be animated by potato. Well, what do you do now?
I wonder if we could put the soul into this.
Oh, so it's okay for you to put the soul into a potato body, but not for it to go into my body. I see how it is.
Well, the potato orphan doesn't serve some unknown deity that could be evil or not. But if
How do you know this?
If we put the soul into the potato orphan, maybe the potato orphan could, follow directions at least.
That's your potato orphan.
Oh god, it's potato shaped.
It is somewhat larger than it was in life. It is somewhat larger than you are.
Okay, well, it's gotten into the room with us, apparently.
It kind of squeezed in.
Is it moving under its own power, or is it being controlled by the snake?
It's being marionetted along by the potato strands.
Okay, so it has potato consciousness.
Yes.
Okay.
Let's go with that. It has a potato brain.
Awesome. This might come in handy.
Vesper's... I say Vesper. Chris's laptop is probably faster than its brain.
Well, I'm the only one with a potato orphan, so I'm pretty cool.
Well, what do you guys do now?
Well, I suppose we're going to be going to a sunken city.
That is what it seems, yes.
The potato will have to carry on the legacy of her entire village.
Like, are you gonna leave her here?
No, she's going to carry on the legacy, not here.
Okay. Like,
She's the last living remnant of a whole society.
right.
It's a lot to place on a young potato.
It is.
Should we cover the potato orphan in many bright colors to represent this legacy?
Oh, yeah.
That is a very fine point. Well, there are many sets of very brightly colored clothes around. I mean, the potato orphan is wearing a set of bright clothes, I suppose. As that's what the body was wearing when it dissolved.
We'll have to just grab some extra colorful flags and
Yes.
drape it around her like...
Like a cloak.
Yes.
Does this potato orphan follow orders?
It will do whatever you command it, says the potato orphan.
I don't like... Can you give it a voice of its own?
Sorry, 1 second. I am composed. Yes. I can give it a voice if you wish me to give it a voice.
Well, I would prefer it be able to talk on its own rather than you speaking through it. That's a little creepy.
Is this a
Can
better
you give it
voice?
some... No, I meant its own rudimentary powers of speech. Not you speaking with
I cannot do that, but you can pretend if you wish.
Maybe if you had actually found the potato flower.
Yeah.
That would
the
have been
compromise
infinitely
is-
preferable.
Keep my eye out for a potato flower. For now, I guess this will do.
I'm thinking perhaps we give this potato orphan some of the acid, and then it can actually possibly defend itself just by flinging acid around.
You want to arm the potato orphan with the brain of a potato.
Well, if you command it to do things and it follows the orders, maybe it won't be. Well, I can only imagine it has potato aim, so maybe not something against potato would be good. Yes, you're right. Never mind.
This is
What does the
the
stat sheet look like for a potato orphan?
the stats for Potato Orphan are all 8s.
Okay, well that's better than nothing.
And this is the Potato
Surprisingly-
Orphan with the cloak on it.
You will have a spare weapon. I mean,
Does Worm
I
have
have
a
a dagger I use occasionally.
I think Worm gave the bone club to the orphan, didn't he?
That sounds familiar.
Yeah, but didn't I
Wasn't-
also get it back? Okay,
You did, but you can give it back again.
that looks really, really inappropriate.
Perfect.
We've created a JRPG character.
This is perfect.
Is Bone Orphan your new character for the Saturday campaign?
I think it's gonna have to be Cubone, but in Eberron.
All right. It looks like your orphan is sufficiently armed. Should we now depart for the sunken city?
Yes. I have never felt more prepared for anything.
I
I
hate
would
myself
trust-
so much, says the
I would
snake.
trust Potato Orphan with my life.
You might have to. Potato Orphan will one day save us all.
Hopefully it doesn't come to that.
Oh, it will.
Well, the snake says that the door to the first gate is about a 3 days travel away along the main road. There will be a pit in the ground that you have to jump down. Sound familiar? He asks. There's a lot of jumping into pits in the ancient world. Less so now, but this is one of the few that remain.
So is this not someplace you can open a door to?
We are in the world of the living now. The rules are a little different. I will explain no further.
So you just don't have any power here.
I admit nothing.
You can make a potato orphan, but not a door.
That is very correct, yes.
Well, pit it is, I suppose.
Now,
To the teleporting staircase.
to the teleporting staircase, yes. Will you simply set off down the road? Are there any other preparations you wish to make? Not that there's, many you can do, but was there anything you wish to do or explore in this place before setting off?
We could look around the town for anything useful if y'all don't mind stepping in a bunch of goo that used to be people.
I feel like very few of you have issue with that.
I do not mind that, but I would question what we might find. And I think there may be, at least a little bit of urgency. At least, for myself, I would rather not delay.
Vesper and Wendelorn, what do you think?
Wendelorn is ready to go.
Yeah, I'm good.
All right. Then down the deer-studded road you go. Slash is very happy to go, by the way. Both of him, all of him, etc. Now, we have a problem, which is that a Wendelorn and a Vesper are zombies. They kind of crave human flesh. Their craving has been something they've been able to push aside as they've been energized by all of the brutal violence and the relative local lack of people. But I need both of them now to give me wisdom saving throws, please.
Are there still bodies like hanging in this room?
There are bodies hanging in the room.
They didn't melt when everybody else melted.
Not the ones inside, no.
Well,
We also have spare slashes.
Don't eat the spare slashes. They're made of dirt.
They are made of dirt at the moment. Wendelorn, you really are going to need to eat some brains, like, soon. Oh, Vesper, you're ready to eat, like, anything vaguely fleshy.
Could you tear into the people that are hanging in this room?
Probably.
Vesper would have no problem with this. Wendelorn, I say Vesper would have no problem. Vesper, despite whatever ordinary trepidations that she might have of tearing into, people hanging exsanguinated from the ceiling, is able to push past most of that right now because she's just so darn hungry. Wendelorn is able to, probably hold on to his sense of self more than that, but he desperately is going to need to eat something before you head off on the road.
Y'all stay away from my potato baby.
I don't think potato counts.
You do not feel the potato or any of the piles of flesh would be particularly tasty.
So is Vesper going to eat at one of the bodies?
Unless you have an alternative Vesper, you are driven nearly mad with the hunger to do this.
I'm going to. Why not?
Oh, yeah. Can you please make me an attack roll with advantage? And Wendelorn, what are you doing?
Well, there aren't any people around here, are there?
No living people that you can tell. There is one body that you noticed last night that did not turn to goo, though it does seem very much dead, out in the midst of the goop.
Weren't there a few people that had survived that?
There were a few people who survived it. They are nowhere to be found, the living ones.
Maybe they're hiding somewhere in the town.
They could be. Vesper, are you able to give me that attack roll?
So as zombies, do we have any ability to sense the living?
You have not tried prior to this. But as you stretch your zombie tendrils out, metaphorically speaking, you do feel an eminence that is familiar to you. It is similar to the eminence given off by the living soul that you have in your pouch. Perhaps the presence of the living soul dampened your finer ability to sense, but as you actively sense out, you think you might know where a living thing is. It's to the east.
Well, then I will head off to the east to go pursue this living thing.
All right, and it appears we've lost Chris again. I'm sorry. You head off, Wendelorn. Are you just doing so normally? Are you trying to be stealthy? Are you running? In what manner are you going?
Did you ask any of us to go with you to help you with this? Or did you just wander off?
Does Wendelorn ever ask y'all before he just wanders off?
Well, I'm going to follow him because I have no idea what he's doing.
As for your question, Taylor, no, I don't think he'd be being particularly stealthy. He'd just kind of wander in that general direction.
All right. He comes shortly to a house with a closed front door. If he tries the front door, it is locked from within.
Let me see here. Well, I suppose, since I don't have any better way of opening the door, I could just cast Shatter on it.
Suppose that depends on how hungry you are.
Shatteringly hungry.
Apparently, I am shatteringly hungry. So I shall shatter said door.
All right. The door shatters inward. There's immediately screaming from within as bits of furniture and stones are hurled at you by this very scrawny, very short man. He is huddled in a corner, surrounded by trays of pastries and fried foods, and what look like sacks bulging with money, probably on account of the impressions of coins are visible where the material of the sack is stretched tight across them. He has a...
Is he
yes.
alive when I eat his brain, or do I kill him first?
I think at a 5 for your save, you don't particularly care at this point.
Seems fair.
So, do I know that he is, needs to eat brains, or do I just think he's going on a killing spree?
Well, you're not a zombie, so you don't share the same
But do I know...
need. Wendelorn,
has he shared this with us?
Have you shared this, Wendelorn?
Not as far as I can recall.
So from what I can tell, he's just gone wandering off and found a person.
As he do.
Okay.
The man picks up what looks like the leg of a table and tries to brandish it at you, Wendelorn.
Well, now he's being threatening, so now he's going to get firebolted.
He's got a gun. Right.
I was just thinking, oh good, you found a survivor.
He's coming right for us. That survivor trying to survive aggressively. You hit. Your firebolt smacks him in the face, and he falls gurgling to the floor. The back of his head in a pie.
Well, I suppose, the pie will probably add flavor.
Likely. You approach him and may do what you wish. He will Not resist, as his face is on fire.
If dinner is served, then dinner is served. I will make an attempt to crack his skull open so I can get at his brains.
With a small amount of effort, you are able to easily pry his head apart and eat his brains.
I throw up a little.
Actually, can you make me a Constitution saving throw, worm? You don't throw up a little. You actually throw up the least you've ever thrown up in your life.
I am utterly horrified by this, however. But if he does look better after having eaten this brain, I'm going to put 2 and 2 together and just assume this is a thing that he does.
Wendaloran, you are fully re-energized.
It's a word now.
You are returned to full HP. And
now that he's returned to full HP, he'd probably want to see what was in those pouches and such.
Okay. And as you are searching, you receive a surge of haleness. You are going to receive 10 temporary HP.
Damn.
It will drain away if you don't eat people, but you'll have it for now at least.
Did he consume the entire brain, or is he bringing back the leftovers to Vesper?
That's a good question.
Well, it's a question for you. Like, did he eat the whole thing?
That's a question for Wendaloran.
Is it?
He's the one who's doing the eating.
Well, I don't know how much it takes to be satiated.
And I don't know that Wendaloran knows that Vesper needs to eat.
That's
probably
like, true.
Do you know each other as the zombie? Not a lot of communication apparently happens.
Zombies just don't communicate with each other a lot. They're usually just focused on brains.
Guess. But, like, Vesper's back now, so she can roll that attack roll against the cadaver.
Hey, Chris, can you please... Vesper just kind of stood there drooling, infatuated by the lusciousness of the meat, which still has a brain in it. Upon realizing this, Vesper does finally attack. You're
I was
out
in the middle trying to figure out how to do that.
Gotcha. I can roll it for you.
Sputter once for yes, twice for no.
Vesper hits.
Okay, good.
Vesper breaks into the skull. Vesper eats the congealed and rotting brain. It's not as pleasant of an experience as Wendaloran's. The brain was not fresh. Vesper will receive 5 temporary HP. Wendaloran, within the sacks, you find... One moment.
Did she also return to full HP?
Yes. You find 31 silver coins, as well as some rolled up paper scrolls that you are able to magically read because of your strange undead blessing that allows you to simply comprehend languages. And they are the deeds for property. You may or may not, Wendaloran, vaguely remember what that's all about from your days in the living world. You know, people don't tend to have, you know, clerks and kings in town halls and stuff in the land of the dead. If you want a house, you go to the house and you murder all the skeletons in the house, and then it's your house.
Now, for right now, I think he would just tuck those inside his book, and
All right.
unless he's got some, urgent need for the silver pieces, he'd probably just leave them there.
All right. That's very reasonable. And there's, of course, all the food surrounding the guy. The leftovers from the previous day. This guy clearly intended to hole himself up here for a while and wait out the whole thing. Unfortunately, he happened to be exactly the thing you were looking for. Poor little bastard.
Yeah, I don't think I have a need for the pastries.
No, but I will gather up sacks full of them.
They are covered in blood and brain matter.
Hmm.
Do you still wish them?
Well, they can't all be, can they?
That's a good question. Let's see what percent. 20% of them are covered in blood and brain matter. You can gather up the rest in the sacks.
I would like to, yes.
You have 2 sacks of pastries.
Fantastic. This is solely a pastry-driven society.
It is now. You define the society now, and you have the currency, which is pastries.
He who holds the most pastries writes the laws.
Indeed. I have just the cantrip for that.
Perhaps this is... maybe this was the plan of the witch all along. She has the ability to summon pastries. She was manipulating events to force the creation of a pastry-driven society where she can just print pastries.
Oh.
Congratulations, you played yourself. Now that your zombies have been satiated, do you need to do anything else here?
I would ask that they communicate next time they feel the need for bashing people's heads open, lest we be the only heads available.
You're not living humans, so who cares?
Slash says, maybe I should have stayed a ghost.
Can you not return to being... Can you just, like, not unpossess your body? Or does something not work?
He says, oh yeah, and the body falls over as he steps out of it.
You're gonna crush your dirt babies.
It's okay. I would say they crawled onto his back as he fell, but they didn't because he didn't possess them.
Oh.
They're...
You'd be like a little mama possum.
They are not... It'd be like a mama cockroach crawling on the ground with all his babies scuttering on his back.
God.
He can gain more limbs if he needs them to move faster. He'll just have to ask nicely for them. In fact, the snake can even make him a cockroach body if he desires it. But he does not desire it, because cockroaches cannot wield axes.
This is the weirdest druid concept I've ever heard.
Oh my god, I just had a way better idea. Could Slash be like one of those frogs with all the holes on his back with the little babies that live inside? And then when he needs one, like a little baby Slash will come popping out of one of the holes.
He could do that if you felt like it.
That would be awesome.
I imagine this is how necromancer druids would work. Fermented bodies possess.
That's in Ravnica. Yes. So if you are all settled, then you can set off on the road. You set off on the road. It's a nice trip.
Hmm.
You soon leave the confines of the village. You continue deeper into the forest.
In the village, there was no sort of horses or carts or anything.
That is correct.
That would have been useful.
There were deer, though.
Mm.
You could try to hunt down some deer in the forest and perform some emergency domestication.
Is there a cart we could just have Slash pull?
There were several... Well, they were small carts. They were like food carts. There was no wagon.
That's too bad.
Which is really strange. Like, wagons are very useful for all sorts of things. And there simply were none of them. I definitely didn't just, forget to add wagons to a village. It's something far more mysterious than that. I
mean, you could have just said, yes, there are wagons.
I could have, but I didn't. And now here we are.
Okay. Not being pulled around by Slash. Fine, whatever.
I mean, you could tie ropes to yourselves and just let him drag you through the dirt.
That sounds awful.
It would be awful. Um,
So are we being led by the
yeah, the
bone snake, the miniature bone snake?
bone snake coils up on Slash's top of his head and gives him directions to lead the party.
Oh.
Time passes. Can I get perception rolls from everyone? These perception rolls will serve as your initiative.
Ooh.
Oh no.
Off to a great start.
Good job there. That's a hell of a set of rolls there.
Ivor's not particularly perceptive.
But he wasn't the worst.
It couldn't really get much worse.
No, it literally couldn't. Vesper's just walking around with her eyes closed.
All right, what was the marching order? We had a road like that. That was the direction that you guys were traveling.
I suppose Igor would have been eager to get going, so he probably would have been near the front.
Are we going up or down?
Up. Hence the arrow pointing up.
Oh, okay. I mean, that could have been a tree or something. Alright, I'll protect the party from the rear. Put my potato orphan with me.
Let me... Did I delete Slash? Let me add a Slash.
I don't see a Wendelorn either.
I hope I didn't accidentally delete him. Okay, I've got a Wendelorn. Rolling for Wendelorn. Sorry, I meant rolling for Slash. Wendelorn can roll for Wendelorn.
Can you move Vesper wherever it is you want her on the road, or can you not do that?
Vesper could have just wandered off into the forest by herself. That's entirely possible.
I have to find her first.
Can they eat animal brains, or do they have to be people brains?
They should be people brains. Animal brains are tolerable, though. If you eat them more regularly, you can get away with it before the hunger sets in fully. I'm making Slash 1 because he's not here. That makes my life easier.
Oh no.
Gwendolyn, are you gonna put yourself on the path? What on earth are we rolling?
Oh my.
I'm concerned.
You probably should be.
That's a lot of numbers, and I don't know what to think of it.
There's numbers.
A colossal, very fat deer blocks your path.
Oh. How colossal is colossal?
About 20 feet high.
Oh.
Deer.
It has the face of a human, but it still has antlers.
Any other weird appendages you want to add?
In all other aspects, it is the deer.
It doesn't have human hands anywhere.
No, just a human face.
Well, that's just weird.
Its mouth opens up, and a cat's head comes out.
Oh, okay.
It says, "You have this one chance. Give it over, and you may remain in this living world forever. Otherwise, you will be destroyed, and we will go about our business. You have broken your word one too many times, Ivor. You will act now." It is oddly similar to the voice of Jael, the woman who always sat at the foot of the living soul in hope, staring at it all day. Let's see. Slash was at the front. It looks at you, Ivor. It is expecting a response from you.
Should I wait till my turn, or can I respond now?
You can respond now.
If that is you in there, old jail, I am sorry. But I know now what I must do.
"So be it," she says, and disappears down the gullet of the deer. The deer lowers its head and rushes at you.
Through slash?
It passes by slash Wendolorn and hold on. Yes, it passes by slash and tries to smash at Ivor. Does a 14 hit?
Does not.
All right. A sound is created as it runs. There are tiny holes in its antlers that create a tremulous whistling sound. There comes from the right side of the path 3 deer with human hands. They are otherwise ordinarily sized deer. If I can actually grab them.
So are they running on the human hands?
Yes. On the tips of the fingers.
Oh god.
And that is all the Deermonger will do this turn. Wendelorn, your turn.
Okay, so the 3 deer are charging at us.
Yes.
At any one of us in particular, or just in our general direction?
Mostly at Vesper and Wendelorn, looks like, as they're the most clearly in the general direction of the deer.
Well, then I'm going to cast Guiding Bolt at the one that is nearest to me.
All right. That will be deer number 1, the one with its antlers pointed directly away from you. You hit.
And that's going to be it for my turn.
All right. The light of your guiding bolt surrounds the deer as you blam it right in the side of the head. And just for reference, the next attack roll against that deer has advantage. It's cat number 2's turn. Cat number 2 is not present. Cat number 1 is not present. Worm.
Worm. Okay, I'm gonna take my sword out and slash at the one that he just hit.
Are you going to run up to it?
Yes.
All right. You stumble through the brush, moving at half speed in the forest. It'll cost you 10 feet to move the 5 feet to be in melee with the deer.
Okay.
I mean, actually, where you're standing, you are in melee with the deer. Never mind.
Well, I wasn't before you moved it.
Okay. Well, he was there. He kind of skidded to a halt. I just didn't properly put him in a space.
Okay.
So you can slashify him. And you hit.
Slashify.
And
Yay.
you peel a nice steak off of him.
Delicious.
He is kind of arterially bleeding at the moment. It's not pretty. That deer number 1 is going to open its mouth, revealing several rows of teeth, and try to eat you.
Eat me?
Yes. Does a 16 hit?
Yes.
You take 11 piercing damage.
Jesus.
Can you make me a Constitution saving throw, please? Versus poison.
Christ.
You are paralyzed by the venom of the deer. At the beginning of your next turn, you can make another con throw. You cannot take a reaction until you are unparalyzed.
Perfect.
Ivor, it is your turn.
Okay, bonus action. I will throw out my Hexblade's Curse on the Deermonger.
All right.
And then I will do a quick Booming Blade with my dagger.
All right. What is the appearance of the effect of this booming blade?
It looks like a normal swing of my dagger at first, but after impact with the dagger, which it looks like it does, just kind of electricity and magic arcs out around the deer surrounding it so that it can't move, and it's a loud, like, crackling sound as it does so.
Nice. And you certainly hit it. And you cut deep. It's flesh parts, and you see a lattice work of a bone underneath, like it's a Trojan deer, if you will, of bone and flesh, and you see cats writhing about inside it.
Worth noting as well, that's 2 more damage from X-Blade's Curse.
Okay, thank you.
Are these normal sized cats or giant cats?
Normal sized cats.
So that's a lot of cats.
They're 2 very long cats.
Why?
Because they're magic.
You just said they were normal sized cats.
Well, they are. Have you ever seen long cats? I think
So
you
now
have.
these are cat snakes.
Yes, more or less. They are elongated cats because they are choosing to be so, because that's how cats are. Any cats, not even magical cats.
It's a 20-foot high deer. That's a pretty long
They're
cat.
not filling it. They're just writhing around inside it.
Okay. It all makes sense now.
Ivor, are you doing anything else?
That's my turn.
All right, deer number 2's turn. Deer is going to charge Vesper.
Oh.
Does a 6 hit?
No.
All right. The deer is going to pass its turn to deer number 2, who's going to charge Worm.
No.
Does a 17 hit? I mean,
Yes.
you are paralyzed, so it should.
It has to, right?
Does it auto hit or advantage when you have the paralyzed condition?
Does it matter?
Well, it could. Like, it's not going to in this particular case. In any event, it hits you now.
I think it's auto hit, but I'm not sure. Because I think we had this question recently, didn't we?
That was when you're grappled and restrained. You take 7 piercing damage.
I'm down.
You are no longer paralyzed.
Oh, good. So I can flop over.
You flop over.
Flop.
Had you, I'm assuming your potato orphan was with you here?
Mm-hmm. Oh, shoot, I was going to yell to the potato orphan
Yeah.
to take cover. but I
Unfortunately, you didn't, and the potato orphan's just standing there.
forgot. Well, it's not acting aggressively, so hopefully the deer will ignore her.
Vesper, it is your turn.
Oh no.
There is a deer snapping at you with its many rows of venom dripping teeth.
That's not okay.
No, it's really not. You should
I
really
don't-
teach it some manners.
Why did you have to bring these deer into creation?
Because no one can stop me.
That's fair.
True.
We really don't make enough effort to.
No, you don't.
And we invited
your
him to do
fault.
this.
That is true. It's only gone downhill since the pigeons with hands.
I
Yes.
would argue it's gone uphill, but, that's just my perspective.
I mean, it's kind of done both.
Yeah. Now, I highly recommend careful application of spiritual weapon. Seems like you could get a lot of use out of that here.
Okay. Sure, why not, I guess.
And as that only uses your bonus action, you can still bonk it with your dagger if you so feel like doing. Or, yeah, I mean, I suppose that's really what you'd have to do. Ye.
Daggers don't historically bonk.
It depends on how hard you bonk with them.
Come on, buddy. There we are.
Oh, that's
Oh my god,
gonna
you did a
hit.
roll.
Yes, one that wasn't a 2. Lovely. Alright, and with that, I Yeah, it's not a bad idea. I'm going to
Okay.
go at it with my dagger.
Would you like to put the Mini Vesper somewhere else, or would you like it to take a form other than Mini Vesper?
I haven't thought of a new one yet, so no.
Okay. Then Mini Vesper shanks the deer very nicely. And your dagger
Kinda
shanks
like
the deer
deer.
very nicely. You stab it from both sides at once. It's kind of gruesome. You even do the same amount of damage.
Is the mini Vesper wielding a full-size dagger?
Yeah, yes. I assume so. Unless you would prefer it differently, Vesper.
No, that's perfect.
Alright. Anything else? Would you like to run out of the melee range of this deer for some reason?
No, this is fine.
Alright. Slash is going to attack the deermonger. He hits. And I just put 1d 1d12 plus 3. I don't
How?
know
I
if
have
that
no idea how that works.
I don't know if I syntactically did something very wrong.
We'll just
It
do
might
it over.
that might think you rolled a 1d1.
That makes quite a lot of sense. I'm going to re-roll that.
I mean, congratulations for getting the highest roll possible.
Right.
1d1 system incoming. So he deals quite a lot of damage to the thing. There's a meow from inside.
Is it a upset meow or just an annoyed meow?
Oh,
What
it's an
kind of-
annoyed meow.
Okay. Indignant meow.
So,
And he has only got one attack per action. So that's going to be his turn. Deermonger's turn. Deermonger is going to raise itself up and is going to come thundering down onto the ground, trying to just bring the full bear of its weight upon Ivor. Does a 14 hit?
Nope.
Okay. Can you
Watch
please...
my shield.
Nice. Can you please make me a dexterity saving throw? The ground shakes... sorry. Can you make me an acrobatics roll, please? The ground shakes at your feet, and you have to keep your footing. You keep your feet. Wendalorn, it is your turn.
Okay, so Worm is down.
Correct.
Okay. And now I've got 2 deer to contend with.
Yes.
Okay. So I believe I'm going to cast Scorching Ray
All right.
at the one deer, and we'll see how far we get with the attacks there.
You hit. Your first scorching ray consumes the deer in flames, and it quickly stops moving.
are there any cat sounds coming from within it?
No.
Is it dead, or did it just stop moving?
It is dead. It is bled out pretty much by this point.
Okay, well then the other one that's there, I'm going to cast a second one at.
All right. You hit, and you deal considerable damage. Well, that was the wrong deer. It was... Well, that'll just be deer 1 now. Let me just change around the health values. All right. I forget, is Scorching Ray 2 or 3 blasts at base level?
It's 3.
Okay.
So I will send the last blast at that one that's still standing there.
All right. Your ray misses. As the thing's neck twists around in agony, your bolt goes right by it.
And that will be the end of my turn then.
All right. Cat number 2 leaps out of one of the wounds of the deer. It leaps upon Slash, clawing at his face.
Is that supposed to be a cat?
Yes. Imagine you're like looking at it from like a bird's eye view, and it has hands, and it has a Google logo on its back.
It's not very long.
Well, no, because it is now attacking and not writhing around.
I'm disappointed that you're flipping assets here.
I am the asset flipper. Behold. And it does not hit Slash. Cat number 1 remains inside. Worm. Death saving throw, please. Or incapacitation saving throw, I suppose.
Dang.
Your eyelids snap open.
Snap.
They snap, crackle, and pop open. Well, you are, I mean, you're conscious with 1 HP. You're still prone, though.
Can I do anything after that, or...?
You can get up and you can yell at your potato orphan.
Okay, I get up and yell at the potato orphan to take cover. But I can't attack the deer or anything?
You can attack, I think.
I didn't know if I still had an action after.
I believe you still have...
I mean, if you're going by the original rules, yeah. If you roll a 20 on your death save, you just get your whole turn.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
So you still have your action and bonus action. Just, you lost half your movement standing up.
Well, I spring back to life and stab at it again.
It seems mildly surprised. You hit it. You gouge it in the chest.
Nice.
Your potato orphan goes, "Cover? Cover where? They're all about us." In a voice that is definitely just the snake putting on a voice. Do you do
I mean, he's trying.
Do you do anything else?
I'd like to make sure I'm positioning myself between the deer and the potato orphan if she's not going to move.
Okay, it's going to cost you 10 feet of movement to get to...
It's like 2 inches away.
I mean, if we want to be a little creative with representations in space, we can say that you're... I mean, we can't say that you're between them because they are adjacent to each other. We can say that you are just kind of shuffling around, but, like, you're not mechanically making it unable to get to the potato orphan.
No. So then I suppose that's all I can do.
All right.
Although it was a pretty majestic turn.
Yes. Ivor.
What do the sides of the road look like? Can I easily just walk off the road, or is it like rough terrain or anything like that?
Yeah, everything off the road is rough terrain. It's forest, it's brambly, and it's rocky. There are some trees.
I could go there, though. It would just be difficult.
Yes.
Okay. Bonus action disengage. And I will...
Okay.
And
all these things that I drew are
my...
obstacles that will block line of sight. So you can use that to your advantage.
Okay. Cool. So I'll shoot Deermonger with bolts from the grave.
All right. You hit.
All right. And then action Eldritch Blast. And that's 2 more damage from
Yes.
Hexblade's Curse.
Oh,
Also 2
that'll
more
hit.
damage.
You blast its
And
head
that
off.
is it dead, or just its head is gone and it's still moving?
It's still animated, but you blew its head off.
Okay.
A cat's head pops out of the neck and yells before popping back in.
Does it yell
That's my
anything
turn.
intelligible?
Right. No, nothing intelligible. Deer number 2 is, thankfully, going to simply attack you, Worm.
Well, that's fair.
Does a 14 hit?
My AC is 14. How does that go?
It hits.
Oh, okay. Beautiful.
You go down again,
Yay.
as you take 9 damage. Which, just stabilizes to you're down, but it didn't, blow your head off of your shoulders or anything.
That's good.
That's pretty nice. Vesper, your turn.
Oh, there. Suppose I can just keep stabbing at it.
Oh, yes. Remember, you can use your bonus action to make the mini-you stab also.
Yes. So do I roll spiritual weapon again for that?
Yes. It doesn't use up another spell slot, though. Oh, that hits. You unfortunately do not.
Wait. Well, one of us is useful anyway.
Dear turn. Yes. And that one is the... This was the Vesper attacking deer. Vesper attacking deer is going to attack Vesper, fulfilling its purpose. It does not hit.
Nope.
I think that you and it attacked each other at the same moment, and you both missed.
Very.
Slash is going to start punching himself
Yes.
in the face with his axe.
What, why?
Because he's got a cat clawing at his face.
Oh, okay. Well, that makes sense.
And he successfully cuts the cat in half, along with his face.
Oh.
He falls to the ground, bleeding profusely.
From his dirt body?
Yes, as it had
Is he
begun
bleeding
at
dirt?
this time to reform into flesh. There's only a little bit
It's
of blood.
impressive magic.
It is.
And usually we sacrifice Slash for the good of the party.
This time Slash sacrificed himself for the good of the party.
He's like, I'm going to kill myself before y'all get a chance to.
Stay away, all of you. The Deermonger charges Ivor over Slash's corpse.
Will Slash remember that he can inhabit one of his baby bodies?
Hopefully. 13 does not hit.
Nope.
And that is its turn. Wendellorn, your turn.
I'm going to firebolt that last deer that's down by me.
All right. You miss.
And then I'm going to, move over and get between myself or get between Worm rather and the deer.
All right. So you'll be effectively occupying the same space as Worm.
Okay.
Anything else?
No, that's it.
All right. Cat 2 has died. Cat 1 is going to extend out of the neck hole of the deer and try to claw your face, Ivor. Does a 15 hit?
Nope.
You back up just slightly so its claws are scraping the air. It is Worm's turn.
Beautiful.
Worm does not jump back up this time. Ivor.
Right, same thing as before. Bonus action, disengage. I'll just back up, I guess, as far as I can. 10, 20. I guess I can go here.
Yep.
That will trigger Bolts from the Grave, the old classic.
Yay. And you do not hit.
All right. Well, back to Eldritch Blast.
You do not hit.
F. That's my turn.
All right. The deer is going to attack you, Wendelorn, since you presented yourself. Does a 20 hit?
Yes, it does.
You take 6 piercing damage. And can you make me a Constitution saving throw, please? You pass. Vesper. There is a deer beside you. A big one. You are being hemmed in by deer.
Oh. Not liking that.
Now, if you so chose, remember you can move your spiritual weapon. And it is not affected by the rough terrain, being spiritual. I don't know if that's actually in the rules, but that's what I'm calling.
I think that's right.
Well.
Are you
I am going.
Yes.
Hmm?
Nothing.
I am going to mildly panic and cast Scorching Ray at it.
All right. At the big one, you will be at disadvantage because it's in melee. Unfortunately. You still hit, though.
Bang.
And you immolate the thing. It goes up in flames. You hear a writhing meow from inside.
Oh.
The thing falls over.
And I suppose my spiritual weapon is still hacking away at the smaller
Yes.
deer.
And that does hit. And you kill that one.
Well done.
Yay.
I think I deleted the wrong one. I lost track of my deer.
It happens to the best of us.
Slash is kill. Deermonger is kill. Wendolorn.
So that's the last one standing. I'm going to try firebolting it again.
All right. You are in melee with it, so you'll have disadvantage. Two melee ranged attack rolls that, well, I guess if they had been at advantage, they would have crit, but they didn't. But they still hit, and you kill that one. You shotgun firebolt it in the face.
Okay, so can I attend to worm then?
Yes. We are out of initiative now. There is a cat streaks out of the burning Deermonger to the north. It is ablaze itself, and it is yowling. It disappears into the forest, and as it passes, the dry underbrush in the late summer begins to catch fire. And we are going to end there for tonight.
Good job, you started a forest fire.
Yay, and we didn't even have to have a gender reveal party for it.
What?
We had a cat reveal party is what we did.
Beautiful.
Deermonger says only you can start forest fires.
Yes.
Cool, now I get to feel terrible.
Yeah. You
with
guys...
the knowledge that I burned a cat.
It's
And
okay.
you set fire to a whole forest. You're going to kill all the woodland creatures.
Taylor did promise cats.
I did promise cats. You all should be level 5 before we play next session.
Yay!
Awesome.
Assuming you guys were not already level 5. I'm 99% sure you were not.
I have level 4 written down.
Well,
so
good.
I have 4 as well.
All right. And
I'll be taking a second.
I will... Nice. I will see you guys next week. And, well, I guess I'll see you guys on Saturday if you're playing this Saturday. And then I'll be seeing you guys for this game again next Sunday. Have a good night.